Hey guys, I'm John from nkamesh.com, and most of my videos are about technical tutorials and how to get things accomplished inside of WordPress and your online business. But today what I want to do is take a step back and speak a bit more strategically about the cost of complexity. Now, this is something that is going to be interlaced throughout your entire business. From day one, when you're deciding whether you host on WordPress or do you go to Squarespace or whatever the case might be, as well as later on down the road when you're just determining your marketing channels. Are you doing text message marketing? Are you doing Facebook Messenger bots? All these different things. These are all tactics to achieve a certain goal. But the more you add into your business, the more complexity you add, and we're going to talk about that here today. So let's go ahead and dive in. First thing I have to say is that I titled this The Cost of Complexity, but I also need to be fair. There can be benefits of complexity. Everything in business is a cost versus a benefit analysis. And you're determining when it's time to increase your complexity in order to achieve a certain benefit on the other end. So as we're going through this, don't think that I'm telling you to pick the exact simplest, drop dead simple way of getting something done. I'm just asking you to consider the alternatives, both from a simplicity perspective and the ability for you to sleep at night and know that your business is still going to work in the morning. So the first piece of complexity you need to consider when you're setting up your business is your tech stack, right? Like, we all know that we can get into this pit of complexity when you're trying to figure things out. And one of the reasons why we get so stuck in the complexity of what technology to use is because we're all bright entrepreneurs. We're all people that have passions. We obsess over things like the user experience and we want to make sure that we can just make a beautiful experience and end product and process for our potential customers, right? And all those things can improve your customer satisfaction, your longevity, your lifetime value if everything works just so buttery smooth. But in creating that buttery smooth experience on your customer side, you can create a huge amount of complexity on your own side or on your team's side in keeping the ship afloat, right? So let's just take some extreme examples. On the one hand of simplicity, you have an all-in-one solution like a Kartra or a Kajabi or one of those things. Now, you're going to pay a little bit every month for that hosted solution that's going to give you some simplicity because it won't be able to do everything you might want to do. But what it does, it integrates well with itself. It makes things pretty simple. In most cases, they have the ability for you to follow a step-by-step wizard to set up a webinar or to set up a sales funnel page. All those all-in-one solutions help you reduce complexity at the expense of flexibility, I would say. On the other end of the system, you have a stack of WooCommerce, cart flows, some premium WordPress themes, a support ticket system plugin, email marketing that is customized and all these cool things, and learning management. All these different pieces that are all kind of stuck together. And then maybe you tack on some Zapier integrations, maybe a WP Fusion, just for good measure. You've got all these different tools that ideally and realistically, they should all create this seamless experience for your user, but it may not be a seamless implementation for you as the entrepreneur or as the tech guy supporting an entrepreneur. So those are two extreme examples. If you can get up and running faster, and if you have an idea you want to go to market with, maybe start out with something simpler, and we'll get to my advice at the end. But the tech stack complexity is one of those things you should take heed of before you start going down a path of spiraling into a tech nightmare. The next thing is the funnel complexity itself. Now, this is different than the tech stack because whatever tools you use are just tools. The strategy of how you actually create those customers, how you go from traffic to leads to customers to lifelong followers, that is your sales funnel and your customer journey. And here's a couple of examples of different funnels. And I have to ask you, which one of these would you prefer? So I grabbed this from a sales funnel compendium, repository, whatever you want to call it. And they do a great job of funnel hacking some of the most popular funnels out there. On the left-hand side, you've got Social Media Examiner. And I have not gone through this funnel itself, but this is just kind of for sake of demonstration here. Looks like they've got some different Facebook posts. That's their traffic generation that goes directly into a sales page. And then that sales page will go into an opt-in to create a lead. And then that opt-in will go to what looks like a one-time offer page and then a thank you page. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps. Not too bad. Most people can handle putting together a 5-step process. And then you look over here to Tony Robbins' funnel. Now, if you don't know Tony Robbins, he's a hugely popular self-improvement, personal development guy. Puts on $10,000 plus seminars and all these crazy things. This dude's the real deal. And his funnel looks like that. So it looks like he's got 8 or 9 different entry points into his funnel. Looks like he's got several different upsell, downsell processes, probably multiple different product types, and they probably intermingle, and he shoots people back and forth between these 2 different product funnels. There's some complexity there. Now, if you're just starting out, in your mind, you've probably been through advanced funnels like Tony Robbins yourself, and you're like, oh, I love that, and I want to do it, but I want to do it better because I'm new, and I've got this new head of steam under me, and avoid that. This funnel over here of sales page, opt-in, one-time offer, thank you, you'll be able to move forward and test and improve and get this thing profitable faster than you could even get this thing mapped out on the right-hand side here. And in doing so, you'll actually be able to grow your business and learn by doing. The next one is kind of related to the previous step, but this is the cost to improve your existing sales funnel. So I'm talking A/B testing here, but there's any way of experimentation to improve what you already have is extremely important, especially if you're going to pay for traffic. And let's be honest, everyone is paying for traffic, whether it's organic traffic like this, where I'm spending the time to create this content, or if you're paying for advertising dollars to get the message in front of people's eyes, you're paying for that traffic. So you don't want to just guess to see if it's going to work. You want to be able to improve that traffic over time. And let's just take a look at these 2 examples again. If you have this funnel on the left-hand side, what are you going to do to improve it? You're going to split test your sales page. You're going to split test your opt-in page. You're going to maybe split test the pricing on your order page. And you're going to split test your ads that are going on here. So each one of these, you could run these tests at the same time and kind of find the best sales page, then find the best opt-in page, and set that up with a tool like Thrive Optimize and have that sucker testing as you're going to improve each step of your funnel. If, on the other hand, you're running a Tony Robbins funnel, brother, good luck. Like, you won't, even being able to track the data of how this funnel is performing is going to be a nightmare. So the more complex of a funnel you have, the more difficult it's going to be for you to improve that funnel over time, especially if you get into the world where you might just run down like a detour path. If somebody goes through this funnel and then clicks something you didn't intend on, or if you change something down the road, you might have a pool of traffic. And this has happened in one of my businesses in the past, so I'm speaking from experience here, where if you don't keep good documentation of how this complex sales funnel is flowing, you might have people that flow off to the side and kind of sit in purgatory here, and they're never really brought back into the fold. And so the more complex your sales funnel, the harder it's going to be to improve it over time. Now let's talk about cost of implementation. And I've kind of touched on this throughout each one of these pieces, but if you have a system that is not perfect, but it's able to make money and it's able to deliver a product, and it does it in a simple and a cost-effective way, or even forget the cost-effective from a money standpoint, if you can get it implemented in an afternoon, and then over the next 3-4 weeks, you work on actually marketing your product and your service, and you get your strategy implemented, that has a ton of value compared to building this monstrosity over here, this Tony Robbins funnel, and the cost of getting the ads guide to kind of figure out how to get all the tracking links and all these ads so you can actually see what's going on there. It's going to take you months to implement a funnel like this, or you might start with something small and continue to build on it. But the idea of getting up and getting started and implementing and moving on, it simply cannot be overestimated. So those are some of the things that I consider when I'm figuring out a tech stack, whether I'm working with an entrepreneur, and if I'm the consultant helping them figure out how to get their online business off the ground. I need to look at their minimum viable funnel. What is the smallest piece of functionality that they need to kind of test and prove their concept? If they need to sell this really awesome recurring membership model, can you sell a one-off product first, a very simple downloadable product first? Or if it's this huge multi-module course, can you sell a single video first and start from there and build up? You don't need this big fancy affiliate program and this viral marketing loop, whatchamahoozits, all these tools that are out there today to see if your business model is going to work. If your offer is good, your technology can be bad and you can still be profitable. But if you have the best technology and still kind of a crummy offer, you're going to have a hard time selling that product, right? So start with your minimum viable product or minimum viable funnel. What is the least amount of complexity that you need to get your business up and running? And then as you move on, you don't need to stay there. I mean, minimum is minimum for a reason. But as you get profits from your minimum viable funnel, decide. You live with it for a little bit. See what is working, what is not working. Maybe some things that you think would be a deal breaker with this lower complexity funnel, maybe the things you thought would be a deal breaker really aren't hurting your conversions at all. Maybe they're working well. But you will find certain areas that need to be uplifted. Maybe your sales funnel technology just isn't customizable enough, and you want to be able to maybe bring on a SAM cart or implement a cart flows or do something to improve the ability for you to make your upsells and downsells smarter. Makes sense. Invest your profits once you're making profits in increasing your funnel and your needs. So just kind of a question for you is, how has complexity in your business, how has it helped you? Or how has it hurt you? I'd love to know. Leave a comment in the comment section below on how complexity has either enabled your business to grow or has prevented your business to grow. I've gone through, and I'm sure I'll share some stories with you guys over the coming weeks and months of complexity in my own life and our multiple online businesses. But I'm curious on your side, because I've recently run into some complexity, and I think it's hurt me more than it's helped me. So I want to know your opinion as well and your personal experience as well. Now, you might be wondering, hey, John, okay, you've gone through all this, so what do I recommend? And the thing is like I said before, you need to look at every business model and determine what is needed for them. Are you a service base? Are you an agency? Are you selling products? Are you selling physical goods? Every technology stack needs to be tailored to the specific needs of the user. So I'm working right now on creating a tool to help you decide that for yourself. It'll be ready in the next couple of weeks or so. And when it is ready, if you're watching this video in the future, thank you. I'll leave a link in the description where you can access that and get some personalized advice from me. From having over 50,000 students and selling a couple $1 million in online digital goods over a couple different brands. I'd like to help you figure that out for yourself. But again, the bottom line, like the one piece of advice I need to leave you with, is just because you can doesn't mean you should when it comes to implementation and adding complexity to your business. What do you need to do? What is going to be a must-have versus a nice-to-have in your business? And if you're not making 10,000, 15,000, pick a number in your mind of how much you should be making every month consistently. But figure out what that level is before you increase the complexity. I guarantee you, if you have something to offer that the world wants, they will go through a little bit more friction and a little bit more trouble to get it than if you have the most amazing technology in the world and nothing to sell. I'm John from IncomeMesh.com. I hope this has been a little bit of a reality shot to you guys. It's to mine as well. I'm speaking to myself as much as I'm speaking to y'all. And I hope this is helpful. Leave a comment below how complexity has helped or hurt your business. And leave a like if you enjoyed this kind of tirade on complexity. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.